The house in Fata Morgana. And I will probably cry this stream. Thank you, Jess. Yes, this is true. Thank you, Jess. Alright, I'm gonna go get my water. I will be right back. And I will probably cry in this stream. But it'll be good tears, I think. So, last we left off. Last we left off, we were learning about Michael's childhood. Oh, thank you. Love you too, Jess. Man, I will have fun. So, this is Michael on the right, formerly known as Michel. So, Cake knew about this somewhat, because I didn't want to blindside her with it, because she is trans, so I didn't want to surprise that. But anyways, we are learning about Michael's childhood at the moment. And this is his older brother Didier, and then the other brother's name is Georges. The middle brother. The young Pokemans? Hell yeah! Go check out Alice. Go watch her stream at the same time. Or go watch her stream. What's she playing? Which Pokemans? You're playing League of Legends. You're lying to me. Why are you lying to me? Oh, you do mean like as a redeem thing or something, or anyways, cool. Yes, welcome to a bit of a interesting portion of Fata Morgana. I forgot about this track. He told you that? No, I hardly have such grand aspirations. So I believe it. Hold on, let me see. Yep. This was about George's was saying that Didier is going to overhaul the order, which Michael is hoping will let him into the order. Because that's what he thinks is the current issue that is ailing him at the time. But it just do be a whole gender thing, I think, which is rough, especially in these times. What times does Michael live in? Frickin' 1085. Does not live in Africa, though. What? Confused captions, you are so wrong. Don't be coy. I believe you have what it takes to do it, Didier. What's gotten into you? You're unusually fiery today. So I want to ask you a favor. When you have enough influence in the Order, I would like you to make me a knight too. You what? I'm tired of the way Mother treats me. Always saying I can't do this or that because I'm a girl. I want to learn how to swing a sword. Don't want to do embroidery. Don't care about jewelry or fancy clothing. Michel, what's gotten into you? I'm so much more interested in the world you live in, Didier. So please. Well, I'll be. Suppose we must let ourselves spend too much time with you. Not you too. That's exactly what Mother said. First of all, Michel, you don't have the strength to hold a sword. Then I'll train until I do. If that doesn't work, I still have my mind. You know good and well I could. People are not chess pieces, Michel. But Didier. But above all, you're missing the most important point. I will not, for any reason, become the kind of man who makes a woman take up a sword. She wants to, though. He wants to, though. You're not making him do anything. This may seem normal to you, growing up with two brothers. But I want you to listen to me, Michel. Men and women walk different paths. Men wield swords and fight against dangerous enemies. Uh-huh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Come on, Didier. Come on. What you doing? Why you gonna be like this? Why you gonna be like that? Huh? Why you gotta say that? Why can't you just let your sister right now, brother, eventually kick ass? No, why can't you let your brother, even though you don't know he's your brother, kick ass with you? Be 3 ass-kicking brothers. Come on now. They do so to protect the weak, women and children. Come on. Here to protect you and your mother. You're no different than her. You don't treat me any different than her. Honestly, what's gotten into you, Michel? Why wouldn't I treat you like a daughter of the Bollinger estate? Oh, we actually got Bollinger. Bollinger. Your brother and I, we never meant to make you think. Forget it. What? I'm sorry. I knew what I was asking was foolish. Oh? But I thought you would understand how I feel. Even just a little bit. Was I expecting him to understand? Even I didn't understand the things I felt. I wanted to know what had gotten into me far more than he did. What I had done was no better than throw a temper tantrum. Was I that desperate to become a knight? No. It's a little more complicated than that. That should be the frickin' tagline for goddamn Fata Morgana. It's always more complicated than that. Yep. Well, you'll see. But at the time, seems to be AFAB, assigned female at birth, and when we saw him later, very clearly male, and using male pronouns, so there you go, you got it eventually. But yeah, yep. I won't get into too much more of it. I don't want to spoil anything, but you'll see. I had just thought that the key to the chains in my heart lay down that road, but ultimately there was nothing. Assuming Didier had agreed, and assuming I did become a knight, it wouldn't do anything for the core problem. As I dashed from my brother's room, I snuck a peek at him. His face was filled with an intense perplexity. How could I blame him? I had tried to push a dozen different ideals onto him at once. Filled myself with the vain hope that he would somehow be able to make sense of me when I couldn't even make sense of myself. And now, bubbling with unwarranted anger at being let down, I fled to my own chambers. I can only imagine how frustrating that must have been for him. It was the spring of my 14th year. Heavy clouds filled the sky, blocking out the sun, giving the impression of late evening all throughout the day. I, for one, preferred it when the sun wasn't out. That's right, Michael has that weakness to the sun. Not that sunlight would kill me, but if it was bright enough, the whole world was so white I could hardly see a thing. White, sheltered, no, kidding. Frickin' neat. Need to touch grass more often. Which meant I could only go outside on days when the weather made most everyone else gloomy. I love the portraits for this chapter. Like the little... They're so pretty. So I was meandering through the courtyard. I spotted someone I had never seen before. A warm breeze blew past, sending up a swirl of flower petals. The girl's dress hung lightly over her frame, tracing her gentle curves. "Who are you?" I asked bluntly, and the girl twirled around, smiling. Let me know if it's too loud. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit on my end. Just like... Why is the difference between 25 and 26 so much? Oh, we'll deal. My apologies. You have just such a beautiful courtyard here. I let myself in for a little walk. Long chestnut hair flowed over round feminine shoulders. Swayed slightly in the wind. The cloud of melancholy dissipated in the light of her smile. Do you remember that, this was one of the things, this is who, Michael said he had his first crush on. Which, having it when he thought he was still a girl must have been extra difficult. Because now it's like, do I like girls? If I do like girls, is that gay? Am I even a girl? Ah, that must have been a lot of complicated shit. I'm sure you went through some complicated shit too, huh, Maggie? Or Cake, sorry. My name is Paul, by the way. Figured I might as well do that. I just keep accidentally saying my sister's name, but anyways. You must be Michel. You're just as pretty as I heard. And you are? My name is Amy. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. I don't know exactly how to pronounce her name. Do I just pronounce it as Amy? A-I-M-E-E. How should I even pronounce that? Amy? Anyways. Finally meet me? What was she talking about? As I stood there, baffled by this strange woman, she stepped toward me, kissing me softly on the cheek. Oh ho ho! Oh ho ho ho! Oh ho ho! Ho ho ho! I'm thrilled to make your acquaintance, Michel. Her voice was like someone pouring honey into my ear, electrifyingly sweet. Ow! That's unfortunate. Oof. I'm George's fiancé. George's fiancé. I fuck him. And it also stuck another needle into my chest. I mean, I guess you can fuck without being... Anyways, never mind. She was a noble girl by the name of Amy Jobert. Though only 15, she was the very image of refined, polished to a shine. No one had told me my brother was to be married. It came out of nowhere, and it seemed I was the only one who didn't know. That evening, when the family gathered around the table for supper, Amy was there too. And they prepared an extravagant feast for the occasion. My father, Antonin, looked so proud of his two boys. Didier soon to receive his assignment, and Georges soon to be wed. The banquet proceeded smoothly. Not a doubt in the air that we were a happy family. Fuck you, Antonin! We already know what this bastard does to Giselle, so fuck him. But my mind was elsewhere. I found myself unconsciously chasing Amy with my eyes, watching the way those slender fingers gripped her spoon, her full lips parting to allow a piece of fruit in. He's got it bad. Her deep red tongue, visible for the briefest of moments. I mean, back when in the time when ankles were salacious, I'd imagine this is quite erotic. Erotic. Say it. There you go. All the muscles in her face seemed to relax in bliss, as sweet juices seeped into her mouth. Oh, come on now, come on! You knew what you were typing here. Come on now. There's no way they didn't know what they were saying here. The way she spoke, so soft and gentle, letting each sound hang in the air, just briefly before intoning the next. She was distinctly feminine, in a different way than my mother. Apparently, Amy was going to be living at the Bollinger estate for some time. Mother was pleased to have another girl around. Or, more specifically, She was relieved to have found someone other than my brothers for me to spend time with. I had assumed I would hate being around another girl. Surely she wouldn't be able to play chess, after all. But for some reason, I felt much less suffocated around her than my mother. One night, Amy's family and an array of nobles from both houses' social circles assembled at the estate for a party. A din the likes of which I had never heard in my life, filled the great hall. Everywhere I looked, there were people. Servants scrambled every which way. Silverware clanged against dishes in an almost constant hum. Voices from all directions. I felt moderately ill. AD, I feel like we're critically short on waiters. Wait, no, this is close to my Jacopo voice. Isn't it? I don't know. This don't look good for us. Who was it who went about inviting everybody he came across again? Who are those people? They're artists like me. I met them at the court. Artistes like me. Let's see, we have some painters, composers, sculptors, troubadours, poets, writers, you name it. None of them have any connection to the Joberts or Bollingers. Sure they do. They're my friends. And you know, this is me and Amy's party. You can play with your friends elsewhere. Hope you realize we have a reputation to up. This is getting to Antonin's voice. I can't keep my voices distinct anymore. Give me a second. Hope you realize we have a reputation to uphold. Off in one corner, several men, presumably George's friends, gathered in a circle. They stood out from the other aristocrats, both in appearance and the air they gave off. The clothes they wore, the embroidery hidden beneath their jacket cuffs, their manner of speech, the way they had held themselves. They were, simply put, a far cry from the hard-headed Didier's ideal guests. Even watching them from afar, it was clear my brothers ran in very different crowds. The only reason headstrong Didier and free-spirited Georges were able to get along at all was because they were brothers. If they had been strangers, I doubt their paths would cross much. Okie dokes, understandable. You take care, Cake. Very understandable. Hey, come here, guys! George's shouting pulled my preoccupied mind back to the surface. He summoned his friends, then led them to where I stood. Why would you do that? What is wrong with you, Georges? Why? And so true, Buttspot. So true. Buttspot. Not Bloodspot. What the hell? Buttspot. Close enough. Butts. Bot. B-U-T-T-S-B-O-T. B-U-T-T-S-B-O-T. There you go. You spelled it. You got it. Alright. Sorry about that. What are you doing hiding in the corner, Michel? I didn't even notice you. That was probably the point. Allow me to introduce you to a few of my friends. Yeah, me too. No. George has put his hands on my shoulders, peeling me off the wall and standing me in front of his male friends. Gag. Socialization was the last thing on my mind. So true, bestie. So true. So fucking true. Oh my god. It's me 110%. I searched for Didier, hoping he would come to my rescue, but he was off trading pleasantries, facing away from me. This is my baby sister, Michel. Be nice. Georges, I don't... Graces, your skin is even more pale than I imagined. I didn't know what voice to give this man, okay? Random man gets random voice. Oh, that was weird. Popped my hands. Yeah. It's like something out of a fairy tale. Why have you never brought her with you to the court? She'd be a sure hit. And how old are you now? 12, mayhap? No, don't treat the lady like a child. I'll have you know she's 14. All the more reason she should be out there making friends. Whole court had flipped if you knew they... Oh, boy. Ick. 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 Gross. Gross. George's... Who is this guy? Why is he your friend? Get him out of here. Get him out. Shoo. The whole court'd flip if they knew you had such a gorgeous sister, Georges. Don't be a brute, my man. Our little angel has to be kept inside for personal reasons. Uh-oh. Sounds like I haven't been showing the lady her due respect. I've yet to even properly introduce myself. How rude indeed. Their laughs grated on my nerves. And so did the way Georges spoke as though I was his property. They looked like they were appraising me, which made me sick to my stomach. I'd been paying enough attention to notice the man who asked if I was 12, and the rest of them, too, examining me from head to toe in search of curves. I was, indeed, underdeveloped for 14. But what did that matter? I didn't want a body shaped like Amy's or my mother's. Now then, m'lady, a proper greeting. Man got down on one knee before me. For a split second, I didn't comprehend what he was doing. Go on, Michel. He's waiting. He whispered into my ear. That was when it all came back to me. The traditional greeting performed between a man and a woman. Michael does not want to do this. He does not want to do this. Ay, ay, ay. Oy vey. Understandably so. Come on, Michel. Don't tell me you forgot what to do. I knew the process. I had that knowledge. Mother had taught me the rules, shown me the procedure. I was to present my hand to the man, for him to kiss. All I had to do was hold out my hand, but I was frozen. My body fought tooth and nail against the simple act. The thought of that man putting his lips on my skin sent a chill through me. Why? Why was this a traditional greeting? Why did I have to go through this? Michel! At the sound of George's frantic voice, my arm creaked up from my side. Then I remembered that despite being his friends, they were still nobility. As wanton as his social interactions may have been, he still had a reputation to maintain. And I understood that. I also understood that, as their sister, it was my responsibility not to do anything that might tarnish either of my brother's names. Also, by tradition, the man wasn't supposed to actually kiss the woman's hand. The proper way to do it required he simply mimic the act, rather than make real contact. That much I could handle. The man kneeling before me gave an uncomfortable chuckle at my reluctance, shrugged, and reverently took my hand in his. And then pressed his lips firmly against my skin. There was a vaguely warm sensation on the back of my hand for the briefest moment. What do you... Reflexively, I smacked the man's hand away. George's eyes went wide with horror, and the man gave another playful shrug. I was merely offering you a greeting, milady. Is even that a new experience to you? Oh, I do not like this guy. Your innocence is truly precious. I was half a second away from throwing a barrage of insults, but I bit my tongue and stomped off instead. What? Michel! Hey, come back, Michel! I'd spent all that time convincing myself I couldn't humiliate my brothers, but now I wouldn't hear a word of it. I had drawn a fair bit of attention, and other people tried to stop me too, but I brushed them all off, marching my way out of the Great Hall. I feel so dirty. You call that a greeting? No, that was no greeting. That was... I'll be taking that, I say, practically swiping a glass of water off a passing waiter's tray. With it, I wash my hand by the window facing the courtyard. But no matter how much water I poured over it, I couldn't erase this sickening sensation of his mouth on my hand. So I rubbed it with my sleeve until my skin was bright red. I wanted to feel something else, anything else, even pain. Think before you act, Georges. What were you doing inviting people like that into our home? I was angry, and I had every right to be. He had not performed the proper greeting. Even in jest, he had no business actually putting his lips on my hand. was not acceptable behavior for an aristocrat. He was a guest. He should have been ashamed. Was I angry that he had been disrespectful? No, that wasn't the reason. It was...
I forgot this happened.
Gross. That wasn't very nice of you, running off like that. The sound of his voice, I couldn't turn back. Felt a sickening warmth almost directly behind my back, against my back. The man from the great hall grabbed me by the wrists, spun me around, and pressed me against the wall. Ugh. The bitter scent of wine wafted from above. What the hell are you doing? I tried a second time to get away from him, and that was when reality sunk in. I couldn't do it. All the strength I could muster wasn't enough to make the man's hand budge. My arms were locked in place. I didn't think he was especially strong either. He was hardly built like Didier. And still, I couldn't move an inch. Got a tongue like a boy, m'lady. But I know some people are fond of that these days. Can't say I mind myself. Let go! Have I always been this feeble? Are my arms truly so worthless I couldn't even escape this brute's grip? Why did I have to get stuck with this body? Yeah, I definitely understand, Cake. Jumping off this is probably very... It's a little too close to home for some, which is quite understandable. Now, just so we're clear, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm no monster, I promise you that. Then why are you holding me against the wall? Because I want a chance to try and woo you. I apologize if I made you uncomfortable back there, but the second I laid eyes on you, I knew you were a keeper. Gag. Then let go of me. But if I do that, you'll run away. It's my personal rule to never let go of anything I like. Your brother says you can't go outside, so if I set you loose now, I might never get a chance to catch you again. I wanted to vomit. Same, Michael, same. Apparently taking my silence for approval, the man perked up and kept going. If you're not accustomed to being around men, then why not use this as an opportunity to get familiar? Not a half bad idea if I do say so myself. I think we get along quite well. Besides, I'm a minstrel. Spend some time with me and I'll write you all the songs you could possibly want. Get away from me. Ah, you really do have the most striking eyes. Makes me want to keep them all for myself. If you start talking about peepers, if you start talking about you want my peepers, I'm gonna fucking flip my lid. I'm gonna go crazy, go stupid. Ah. With a muse like that, I could write the most incredible songs you've ever heard. I said get back, you creep. Huh, that's odd. That one's never failed me. The man brought his face in just inches from mine and peered into my eyes. Could feel his hot, wine-stenched breath against my cheeks. Ugh. Gross. Gave me the chills. Couldn't understand why this was happening to me. Panic and confusion had my heart racing. Go try your luck with someone else. I'm not interested. You will be soon enough, darling. You've simply never known a man's touch. Oh my god. This guy would be the guy to say, "Oh, you're a lesbian, you just haven't tried me yet." I want to puke. And hurl this man into the ocean. He drew closer. He was already practically on top of me, but still he closed in. Closer and closer. The world faded out. I couldn't see anything. I could feel his rising body heat so near it made me nauseous. My eyes flung open, but there was nothing there. I only felt, could only feel. I couldn't move. My body wouldn't budge. My mind, I kicked the man away, pulled my fist back and slammed it into his jaw. Again and again and again, until his face was unrecognizable. Again and again and again and again I beat him. But reality would have none of that. Michel! Hey, what do you think you're doing? 3 seconds? 10 seconds? Longer? I had no idea how much time I had lost. The next thing I knew, Georges had the man by the collar. I fell back against the wall, staring absent-mindedly as the two struggled. They traded blows and they traded insults. Before long, they had drawn a crowd. While they went at it, distractedly drifted away. And I only had one place to go. I didn't even bother to light a candle. I just stared into the darkness. My heartbeat was maddeningly loud in my otherwise silent chambers. What had happened? What had he done to me? Why couldn't I do anything? The last thing I wanted to do was cry. Tears would only serve to worsen my humiliation, only magnify how wretched I was, only make me more effete. I bit down on my lip, hard. I had no need for that trash on my body. I dug my nails into my arms. I had no need for that trash on my body. All of this, every last bit of it. That was why I was the way I was. Didn't know how to put it into words. Didn't know how to express this boundless frustration within me. But after enough wordless groaning, a single word slipped from my lips, and it felt incredibly right. God damn it! I knew good and well a girl should not be using such words. Even Didier and Georges would have gotten an earful from mother or father if they were caught saying that. Regardless, God damn it! Was the most fitting word I could come up with to represent even the smallest bit of my anger and loathing. I knew all I was doing was shifting the blame. That all it would accomplish was making me look pitiful. But I would take that over crying like a girl any day. Ha! I let loose a sigh that was halfway to bring a scream, then started clawing wildly at my hair. I wanted to yank out every last damn strand of it. I didn't want it. Didn't want any of it. Any of this body. But in that case, what did I want from my body? Michel? May I come in, Michel? It was George's voice, slightly muffled through the door. The man who had invited those people into the house. I would be lying if I said I didn't hold that against him. Michel. But at the same time, he had also come to my rescue. Besides, I hated myself the most. Despised myself for being so helpless. I'm sorry, Michel. I didn't mean to hurt you. It's not lost. locked. After a few moments of silence, Georges stepped into my room. Your hair's a mess, Michel. And my God, you're bleeding. That was when I first noticed the stinging sensation in my lower lip. A metallic taste spread through my mouth. I had been biting it much harder than I realized. And there was a lot more blood than I expected. The trail of it was running down my chin, seconds from spilling onto my clothes when Georges wiped it away. I'm really sorry, Michel. He can be a real ass when he drinks. And he's a bit of a womanizer at that. Never expected he'd try to go after you, though. I'm really sorry, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. But, you know, there's a chance he may have, genuinely taken a liking to you. That just makes it worse. Sorry. You're right. You want to be with a man you like. I understand. He ran his hands through my hair, as if trying to calm me down, at the same time cleaning up the mess I'd made of it. It made me feel like I was some kind of plaything. A joke of it all. I don't want to be with anyone. I would never, ever be comfortable with a man putting his hands on me like that. However, I'm sure you'll find someone eventually, Michel. Oh boy. Boy howdy. I'm sure lots of people have heard that phrase before. Oi, 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 for lots of different reasons. I'm sure you'll find someone, you know. You can't not date men. That's impossible. Oh, I'm sure you don't. I'm sure it's not that you don't like sex. It's just you haven't met the right person yet, you know? Ugh. I mean, I haven't heard those things, but I know it's definitely been said, unfortunately. Someone that feels right for you. I feel kind of awful for introducing you to him, but there are plenty of men in the world. You might not be interested now, but that'll change soon. It's part of growing up. You'd be best off forgetting today ever happened. I was dead certain, but apparently that wasn't enough to convince him. The very idea that I might meet a man who I wanted to touch made my skin crawl. Who I wanted to touch me made my skin crawl. Why? Why did I feel like this? Was I just not interested in men? No, if that were the case, I wouldn't admire my brother's bodies. I didn't have an aversion to men. Aversion. In fact, I enjoyed spending time with my brothers far more than indulging my mother in her woman's world. What I couldn't stand was the particular look men would sometimes give me. But why? Why did I not like that? I had no answer. My thoughts were only going in circles. Oh, Michael, honey. Oh. You've got a lot on your plate. Got a lot on your plate, son. Oof. You're in for a big storm. Are you okay, Michel? He peered down at me, his face twisted with concern. But I couldn't answer him. How was I supposed to articulate this? My anger, my frustration, my irritation, my fear. I had no confidence he would understand. Georges, how's Michel? Amy's voice came from the doorway. Inexplicably, I felt like someone had stuck their hand in my chest and was now squeezing my heart. Like I had just been caught in a compromising situation by the last person I wanted to see me. Yeah, she's doing good. Aren't you? Yes, I'm fine.
Glad to hear it.
I was clearly lying, not even looking him in the eyes when I'd said that. That seemed to have gone over George's head. Amy, on the other hand, George is just kind of a himbo. Just kind of a dumbass. You'd think it'd be Didier, but Didier... It's just kind of the... What is he? Goody two-shoes. That's how he be. That's how he be. You don't look fine at all, she said, a hint of pain in her voice, and then entered the room. Get out of here, Georges. Georges, Father was asking for you. He says it's time to bring the gathering to a close. You should get going. I'll stay here with her. Oh, is he? All right, then. Sounds good. Once the sound of George's footsteps had faded into nothing, Amy took a seat beside me and, without warning, wrapped her arms around my shoulders. It's much better to talk to another girl at times like this. My heart leapt into my throat. Beyond the shock, I also found myself welcoming the warmth. It was pleasant, unlike the man's. That must have been terrifying. But don't worry, you're safe now. It wasn't really. No. No need to pretend, sweetie. If a man had had me pinned against the wall, I'd be scared too. Several ways. Anyways. I mean it. I wasn't scared. I'm just disappointed in myself. Alright, I believe you. You're a strong girl, Michel. There aren't many who wouldn't have been scared. I'll be sure to give George a stern talking to about his choice in friends. Something I learned today is that he's somewhat of a pushover. You're a lot more tenacious than I thought. As a woman in this world, you have to be. And if you're not, well, you'll figure it out soon enough, Michel. Of course, even as strong as you are, I'm sure it'll still be difficult to forget what happened to you today. Georges had told me to forget about it as soon as possible, and Amy that I wouldn't be able to. Was it the difference in their individual perspectives? Or was it the difference between the way men and women thought? I wasn't sure. As my head rested against her breast, a bit of my frustration slipped out. I couldn't move my arms at all. He didn't even seem that strong. I couldn't believe that I really was so weak. That's just the way of the world, Michel. Men are physically stronger than women, so you almost never overpower one. You're not any weaker than any normal girl. Don't blame yourself. Though it wasn't the consolation I had hoped for, her words still filled me with warmth. I had exploited my own weakness to hear more of that soothing voice, and I alone knew how foolish I was in doing so. Amy frequently visited my chambers. I didn't know if it was at Mother's request or of her own volition, but I prayed it was the latter. She was a very touchy-feely person, and she seemed to have a particular fondness for playing with my hair. Whenever her voice danced its way into my ears, it would wreak havoc inside me. being enveloped in her scent day after day, stoked the fire growing within me. I did my best to remain as straight-faced as possible, because the last thing I wanted was her catching on. Oh, Michael, oof. Oh, yay. Jesus. Going through it. Oy. You know, this is something funny. I never, like, in high school, I wrestled all 4 years. Never in the entirety of that was it any sort of issue. Like, as in, like, I had some kind of bi-panic attack or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I just hated sports that much. And my fear of sports overrode everything else. But I don't know. I don't get too many crushes, honestly. I don't know. It's odd. 'Tis odd. Such is my life. My life is odd. Anyways, back to the story. I understood that the things I was feeling were untoward, to say the least.
Your hair is so utterly enchanting. I've never seen hair so white before.
I think having color is much prettier.
Oh, well, Georges says white is the most difficult color to make with paint. There's no greater challenge than capturing the beauty of true white. Living with such a splendid example of the color must have given him a very high standard of quality. Say, Michel, maybe you could tell me about yourself today. I would love to get to know you better.
Tell you about myself?
Yeah, we could become even better friends if we found some mutual interests.
I enjoy playing chess, and I consider myself quite good.
Oh my, chess? I've never played. You're such a bright girl, Michelle.
Would you like to try? I could teach you.
I appreciate the offer, but I think I'll pass.
Let me see, can I... Should I just put this up as the content warning? Give me a sec. Let me actually, hold on, give me a second. Oh god, that's so big. Oh jeez. Oh, that's too small. What the hell? 11, I guess. Why is it? Oh, that is way too. What size is that then? 36 Pro? It's got 28. There, how's that? Terrible. Oh, I was like, what is that? That's another problem.
I appreciate the... Oh, wait, what was it? It was, oh. Would you like to try? I could teach you. I appreciate the offer, but I think I'll pass. I doubt I would be any good. Oh, okay. What else is there? Say, your favorite kind of flower, fragrance, color of gemstone. Are there any embroidery patterns you're particularly skilled at?
I don't have any favorites, no. And I'm not especially good with a needle either. What's that? Hold on. You. Soldier boy, you. Resize this. Sorry. I am worrying about the wrong things at the moment.
No? Do you have shaky hands then?
I wouldn't say that, no. I'm, fairly good with a knife, I think.
A knife? Oh, like a kitchen knife?
Gotta make everything girly, huh? Guess I can't falter that. Just the life she's raised in. Just how it be how it do.
No.
A sculpting knife.
Sculpting?
Is that really so strange?
It is a bit unusual, I'd say.
But George's does it all the time. His room is practically made of wood chips and charcoal and paint.
George is an artist and a man. There's nothing unusual about him doing some sculpting.
Why is it okay for him but not me? Does being a girl really make that much of a difference?
Well, why don't we practice embroidery together, Michel? I get the feeling you've spent too much time with your brothers.
All these radical ideas like... sculpting is only for men and... oh boy. Michael's got it rough. Michael do be having it rough.
But now you have me. I'm sure it won't be long before you appreciate how fun cooking and needlework can be.
Oh, poor Michael. She sounds just like Mother. And she gives the same reason, too. Because I'm a girl. That's not an explanation. It's a vague generalization. That said, if I agree,
can spend more time with her. Okay. Wonderful. We'll come up with beautiful designs together. And when you've made something you're proud of, you can give it to a boy who catches your eye. Honey, not only does she not like boys, she is not a boy. Or not, she is not a girl. Sorry. I fucked that one up. She is not a she. Let me change this to... Let me change this. Let me... Yeehaw! Change it. To be fair, we are all on a journey to understand our own genders for our entire lives. I probably shouldn't push myself too much. I think I might end it here, actually. I know this is a bit of an odd ending time, and I've only been going, what, 3 hours? But my hands are starting to do the weird thing that they do occasionally, which is they start tingling, and I'm not sure why. Like pins and needles. It's very weird. But, yeah. I already know who we're going to read into. I do apologize for ending it so abruptly, but I don't know. I'm still recovering, I suppose. I'll get back to those 6-7 hour streams sometime. Eventually. I also just, you know, I do like having people interacting in chat, which is completely fine if they don't, but, you know, makes me want to stream more. Anyways, thank you everybody for coming. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna raid into Alice. There we go. Playing some League of Legends. I might actually join her. Which might be the worst decision. We'll see. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'll try to stream earlier, because this time didn't seem to work too well. Just quite alright. Good to know. Good to learn. Alright. Good night, y'all. I'll be seeing you.